Welcome to what is this thing called? Welcome to Meet the Movie Tubers, where we talk to one YouTuber per week about their love, passion, and desire to create content surrounding movies and television. Today we have Katie from Poppin The Popcorn, and I'm so glad to have this conversation with her because she's one of the most helpful, influential, and just overall amazing people that I've ever met while doing this. Now, Katie, thank you so much for being with me today. How are you feeling? How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on. It's always fun to hang out with my friend and have fun, even though that I've only known you for like about a month or so. It's awesome
Right.
getting to know you and
Yeah.
just what you guys do. And I love you guys. So it's great.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you mentioned that we've only known each other for a month because that's like the story for me and a lot of people who I have relationships with through YouTube now is that I've only known you guys for a month, maybe 2 months or so, but the relationships have been so real, so authentic and really helpful. Like I was mentioning before, like one of the reasons why I wanted you to be one of the very first people who I did this with is because you are in a big sense the matriarch of a lot of relationships and a lot of connections between people, and you've always been super helpful. When I decided to
Mhm.
make this into a thing, I was like, oh, Katie's got to be first. Absolutely.
And I appreciate that being one of the first people. I like to bring people together just because it makes more community, and you get to meet new people that you never maybe even heard of.
Right.
So that's why I like to bring people together, and it's just a lot of fun, just
Yeah.
talking movies or just talking life together.
Yeah, I mean, you're a big reason why I even crossed the 500 mark, introducing me to all the other YouTubers, or especially like in the horror YouTube community and just in the
Mhm.
YouTube community in general. You plus, I would say, Spoiler Kings and Zach Milne. The three of
Mhm.
you have been very influential on the connections that I've made thus far. With that being said, I kind of want to get into the first question. What was the moment that you decided, hey, listen, I'm doing this? I'm going to go to youtube.com. I'm going to type in Pop in the Popcorn, or if you had a different name at first, I definitely want to hear that. I'm going to press save, and then I'm going to make videos. This is what I want to do. I'm doing this today. So, what was that moment? Like, what led to that moment where you wanted to do this movie tubing on YouTube?
So a lot of people don't know that I actually wrote Disney movies on my Disney blog because I'm a huge Disney fan.
Okay.
So I would just write out the movie reviews that I would do, and they were sometimes Disney movies, sometimes they were different movies that I liked. So then I started doing podcasting, and I had a partner, but he couldn't do it. So I was like, okay, I got to figure out something else because I couldn't do a podcast 30 minutes because I would be talking in circles.
Got
So I decided to go onto YouTube. But before that, when I was coming up with the name, I did a poll on my Disney Facebook group, and I was like, "Hey, what do you guys think of this name?" I think there was Popcorn Bucket, there was like movie theater reviews or something like that, and then everybody thought Popping the Popcorn was cute, and nobody really has it, so that's how it came up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like I love the name Pop in the Popcorn. It makes so much sense, especially for you. And then you got a really cool nickname out of it, K-pop. Like I love calling
Mhm.
you K-pop, like just in
Right.
general. Because-
Everybody calls me that. My good friend Carrie Crave Cinema, she's the one
Mhm.
that gave me that nickname. She
Shout out
was
to
just like
Carrie.
K-pop, and she's my partner in crime, and I love her. If y'all haven't checked her out, go check her out because she's amazing. She was in the chat and she's like, "Hey K-pop," and I was like, "Hey," and then
Mhm.
everybody started calling me that, so that's how it stuck. Just like I also have Killer Katie from the Midnight Hour, another
Nice.
group I'm part of.
Yeah.
So, because one night I got mad at somebody. I mean, like, she doesn't come out that often, but that's also another nickname people call me. So,
Yeah, I definitely heard of Killer Katie. I was in a few of your live streams, and people were like, "Don't let Killer Katie come out." I was like, "Oh, I don't want that to happen for sure."
no, trust me, if I seen somebody disrespecting any of my friends in their chat, guess what?
Mhm.
Killer Katie's gonna come out and she don't play.
Yeah. Making the decision to put yourself on camera or make a podcast
Mhm.
or even write reviews is a very like personal thing where you're kind of like putting yourself out there because you're putting yourself at risk of criticism and people talking bad about you,
Mhm.
but you're also putting yourself at, I don't know if the word risk is correct, but the risk for praise and people actually enjoying the things that you like. But it's a
Mhm.
very, from what I found to be, a nerve-wracking experience. But what gave you the courage to finally step out and put yourself out there like that?
So what gave me the courage was my family and my friends. They're like, you like movies, you've been watching them since you were a kid, because it was my escape from like the bad things that were going on in my life at the time.
Gotcha.
And so movies are kind of like my family, my friends. Like
Mm,
I could sit down and watch anything and I'll be like immersed in it. And like if somebody's trying to talk to me, I'll be like, what?
yeah,
you know?
yeah. I don't know if you're like me, but I'm very, if it's something that has happened on screen, like, wait, how did they get there? I'm literally looking at the same screen as you. I don't,
Yep.
so I try
I'm the
not to
same
be
way.
rude. I try to be like,
Yeah, I'm the same
it's
way.
sometimes like
So
we're looking at the same thing.
So I just decided to give YouTube a shot. I've been on
Mhm.
YouTube for 2 years now because my anniversary for YouTube just came up. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. I do have a learning disability. I am dyslexic
Okay.
and I do have reading problems and comprehension problems. But
Mhm.
that's not gonna make me stop from getting those bad comments, those good comments.
Yeah.
I'm just out here trying to give people my love for movies. And if they're going through like a bad day, this is the way that I look at it. If they're going through a bad day, if I can make them smile by like just like laughing on the video when I record it, or just like doing a movie that they love, and if I could give them a smile, that's what I love to do, is make people smile all day long.
Just the idea that you're putting yourself out there to hopefully make someone smile is dope, because that's a selfless act. Like, that's something that you don't have to do. Like I said, you could cocoon yourself and be like, I don't want to be a part of this. But I also love the fact that you said, despite having dyslexia and depression and other like learning disabilities and stuff like that, and I have similar things. I have depression, I have serious anxiety, as well
Mhm.
as ADHD, which I just found out last September of 2022, which reshaped my entire life and how I looked at it.
Mhm.
Like, oh my god, that makes so much.
Yep.
Especially when I found out what the symptoms were, I was like, oh, that's hyper focusing is what it's called. When I can't
Mhm.
get off of something until I like get
Yes.
that fixed. The fact that I need something to give me dopamine in order for me to
Mhm.
actually care about doing it is something that I never was able to put words to. But now that I'm
Mhm.
aware of what's going on, it helps me navigate those different
Mhm.
sections of my life in a different way, right?
Right.
So you knowing that you have that, and me knowing I have it as well, especially depression and anxiety, which is a big thing for someone who wants to get in
Right.
front of the camera. I think it's
Mhm.
super courageous for you to be able to just step out there and do that.
And what I tell people is follow your dreams no matter how big or small they are. That's what my mom always told me.
Yeah,
And if somebody tells you
good
no,
mom.
keep trying. One door leads to another. And that's
Yeah.
how I started YouTube. And I'm going to continue to grow with my channel. And if I get monetized, I get monetized. And if I become famous, I become famous. If I don't, then it's just a hobby for me at the end of the day.
And I think that's a big thing. I think that a lot of people feel the pressure to get to that monetization. I know when I started, I wasn't thinking about monetization or anything like that. I actually didn't even know how it would be done, so to speak. Or you already had your 2 year anniversary also. Congratulations. That is
Thank you.
amazing in and of itself. I actually
Thank
know
you.
that you also hit 1,000 subscribers not too long ago as well, right?
Right. About
Yeah.
like a couple weeks ago.
2 year anniversary, hit 1,000 subscribers. You're doing amazing. What have you learned about yourself in this 2 year process that you've been doing this?
So when I first did videos, I didn't know how to edit. So I do all my videos in one take, and that's very hard. And I've
Mm,
learned not to stutter. So if you go back and look at my older videos, you'll see me stuttering. You'll see me saying this, that, and whatever.
yeah,
And I try not to now. I try not to put those in my videos as much. And I
gotcha.
just learn by watching like my YouTube friends. They inspire me every day. Everybody inspires me. So I get like a little bit from each of my friends. Like I pull a little bit from everybody. I watch all their videos and then I take what they're saying, and also I ask people questions. Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I think that's what made me so successful. My friend Knight from the Night Watch Zone, he's also said, before, this is before I got 1,000 subs, he calls my channel a very underrated channel. I call myself
I
the
agree.
underdog. My channel's not that popular. I just got 1,000 and it took me 2 years to get 1,000 subscribers. I just say I'm the underdog. That's what I say my channel is. Underrated channel.
Yeah, and I agree with that, which is another reason why I wanted you to be one of the first people who are doing Meet the Movie Tubers with me. And also, let me just say this real quick. Movie Tubers are a group of me, Zach from Zach and Tech Reviews, Jason from Screens and Reviews, and DJ from Movie Time Minute. That's just a group of guys who decided to do some stuff together. But Movie Tubers to me is we're all Movie Tubers, right? Everyone
Right.
who's in this space, who's doing YouTube to talk about movies and television, whether it's a specific niche like horror, the MCU, and superhero stuff. If you focus on indies and dramas, we're all movie tubers, right? We're all in this space trying to talk about the different parts of film that we love. So I don't want Meet the Movie Tubers to sound like it's an exclusive thing. Everyone who's doing this, doing what we're doing, putting out reviews, doing live streams about movies, we're all movie tubers.
I agree with you. And
Yeah.
I tell people I'm like the cheerleader on the side. I'm cheering you guys on. I'm everywhere. Even though that you don't think I'm there, I'm there.
I know when like I'm doing a live stream and there's only one person in, that's
Yes,
probably
me.
Katie sticking around, watching us, supporting us. You've always been super helpful, and I'm just super happy to know you. My last question for you is, where do you want your channel to go? Like, what is the ideal representation like of your channel? If you like a year from now, 2 months from now, what do you want your channel to be ultimately?
So I just want my channel to be a loving and supporting place for people to come, hang out, have a good time.
Mhm.
I think from a year from now, I'm gonna be at 3,000 subs, maybe, and monetized, and
Yeah.
that's where I can like help people out more. Like you guys are the smaller channels. I can help you
Mhm.
guys get there. And so what I think I'm gonna do is start a program where I can help younger YouTubers and show them the love that people have showed me. Just because I'm nice and I'm sweet, I've gotten so much love, and that's what makes me the most happy, is when people are happy and I can help. At the end of the day, I just like helping people, so I
Yeah.
think that's what's best.
One of the things I've always kind of held on to growing up, being an adult and what have you, is you treat people well, they'll treat you well. Maybe
Right.
that doesn't always reciprocate, but I'm always going to carry that attitude of I'm not going to treat my servers at a restaurant poorly. I'm not going to treat people who come to do a service for, like if I have a plumber come over, I'm going to be the nicest dude. And I'm going to be the best person this plumber has ever worked with because I have no idea what this person's going through. I see that same attitude coming from you, especially in the ways that you want to treat people and help people. I'm really looking forward to just seeing you reach that 3,000 subscribers, seeing you develop that program. Do you have an idea of what specifically the program is going to look like?
Okay, so if they want to start a YouTube channel, basically it's going to be like a web page to where they can go and they can contact me, and what it's going to be is how to start out the YouTube channel, what you need for the YouTube channel, and how to make it, like with the thumbnails, everything like that, how to get more subscribers. Because what you have to do is, if I was telling somebody that was starting out YouTube, I would tell them to make a video, even if it's a short like video or even a short, have an intro for your YouTube channel and tell people what it's about. So that first video, tell them what's about, tell them what it is for you personally, like what made you start this YouTube channel, what your YouTube content's going to be, and then work your way from there and use your hashtags and make a playlist. Once you get like 4 or 5 different videos up, make a playlist so people can watch your playlist, because that's how you're gonna get your watch time hours to get monetized.
I just started using the featured sections tool on like customized channel to start putting my playlist on the front page. And I feel like I know I watched like vidIQ or TubeBuddy or somebody like that mentioned it before. I just had never done it. So like 4 o'clock this morning, I know we both talked about how late we stay up doing this. I just put all that stuff together. And now like my channel actually looks filled out. It looks like there's actually content there.
And then what I tell people is also, if you have favorite YouTube channels, put that on your front page too, because it drives traffic to them. Like if somebody's checking you out for the first time, it also drives traffic to their channels. So it's also a good boost for them as well.
So in terms of your program, do you have a name for it yet?
No, I'm still getting the kinks worked out and everything. So it will be soon. I just have to actually sit down and like do it all.
Well, I know, like a big part of doing the YouTube thing is sitting down and like just coming up with ideas. I was actually
Mhm,
talking to a friend today because he was asking me like about subscribers and different things like that and
mhm,
coming up with different ideas. And I told him like a lot of times, sometimes all it takes is literally just turning on the camera. 2 weeks ago, when I did the first Kenny Sparks live stream, and it was me and DJ and Zach, I believe, that happened after me having like not a panic attack, but I was just like, I don't know what to
mhm.
do. I want to do live streams, blah, blah, blah. And then I
Right.
told the guys, like, yeah, I'm just gonna go live in like a half hour, right? So
Mhm.
from going live in a half hour, I was able to talk to those guys. We got the Angela Davis's overrated clip.
Yeah, that was so funny. And remember, I was in the chat busting y'all up.
Yeah, yeah, we got that clip. We did like 3 trailer reactions, and we also did the Rick
Mhm,
Ross is afraid of almond milk. Now,
mhm.
because I had just decided to turn on the camera, I was just frustrated and was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I made a short of that Rick Ross thing, and that got me 23 subscribers
That's
just from
awesome.
putting out that short and 10,000
That's
views.
amazing.
That's the most I've ever
Mhm.
done from that. Last week, I did the 3 interviews, like just like we're doing right now with those
Right.
guys. And I'm like,
And
oh,
that's
you know what?
awesome.
I really like that. Let me turn this into a series. So I have you on today because I
Mhm.
just decided to turn on the camera, and all the
Right.
questions I just asked you and asked them, I didn't have those prepared. They just kind of like came off the top of my
Just
head.
came off your top of your head. Sometimes those are the best moments is when you can get something on the top of your head. Those are like the best moments ever because it shows that you're raw and it shows that you're human because that's
Yeah,
what you want your community or people that are watching you. That's what you want them to be. You want to be your authentic self. Don't try to be anything you're not just
right.
because it's not going to work and people are going to think you're fake and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I just tell people just take your time with it. Like work on like each time you do YouTube, work on something different, whether
yeah,
it's like your thumbnails or just recording, or editing or something like that. Just
yeah.
work on it each time.
Just like you're saying, make sure you take the time to learn the YouTube game. It's very important. This is one of those things that where you cannot just do stuff. Like you can just put stuff out. So it's kind of like 2 parts of it. Yes, just put stuff out and just let it
Mhm.
live. But after you put that out, watch it over, see what you can do better, and then go find out how you
Mhm.
can improve it. So there's 2 sides of it.
Right.
I don't want people
Mhm.
to not do anything until they feel like they're prepared because you'll never be prepared. But I
Right.
also don't want people to just do stuff
Mhm.
without learning more about how
Right.
to make it better. You know?
And I also will tell people with live streaming, make sure you know the people that you're live streaming with or in the video with because you don't know how it's going to act. If you've seen that person on other channels, okay, you can ask them. But if you haven't seen that person on other channels don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it because they might be cursing up a storm. You don't know if
Mhm.
they're gonna react to your question, so just don't do it.
And I think that's super important, being comfortable with the people who you are with on camera or
Mhm.
on camera, on podcasts, on whatever, just like you're
Right.
saying, just because you want to make sure that the people's character lines up with what your character is. You never want to get caught up in a situation where you have to defend why you were hanging out with somebody after they do
Mhm.
something. So watch them
That's
like a
happened
hawk.
to me
Yep.
personally, so I know.
Yeah.
I'm Katie from Popping the Popcorn or Kpop or Killer Katie, whatever you guys want to call me. I do all kinds of movie reviews. I do Creators Corner where I also do kind of something like this. I get content creators, then I interview them, get to pick their brain. I also do the Midnight Hour on Thursday nights, which is either on my channel or Hobbs' channel, and we talk about horror movies and we just have a good time and hang out. And sometimes I have random pop-up live streams, and that's pretty much my channel.
So with that being said, thank you guys for joining Meet the Movie Tubers. Today we had Katie from Poppin The Popcorn. Make sure you check out her channel. I'll put the link in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.
Hey, everybody.